When not doing my stuff with Dysbooks, I spend a lot of time answering questions from the parents of dyslexic children. I'm also the grown-up child of someone else with dyslexia, so I've had an insider's view of what it's like bringing up a dyslexic child and being that child. And one of the things that I come across most often is the real anxiety and worry about finding out that your child is or might be dyslexic. So we're making this video just to help you relax and chill out, and to give you some advice about the best books and things to look at if you find yourself in that situation. I mean, it's very easy, if that's the case, to kind of be part of your mind to imagine that just because your child at 4 is struggling with reading, that there'll be some kind of snowball effect. They'll do badly in all their stats, and then their GCSEs, and then they won't cope with higher education, and their whole lives will be ruined. And it's up to you to save your child, to fix things for them. And I'm going to say something to you that's very, very important. It's not that bad. Most of us are okay. You've brought us up well. We'll be fine. We might struggle within education, but there is a whole world out there. And like it or not, we're going to go and do what we're good at, if purely by sheer necessity. So one of the main things I'll say to you is, as much as you're going to focus on what your child can't do and is bad at, equally make sure that you're giving the same level of attention to what your children is good at and what they enjoy, because those are going to be the things in life that are going to sustain them, and they're probably going to go and be the things that, when they go out into the world, that they want to make their lives more about. So to kick off, we've got Dyslexia, A Parent's Guide by Christine Ostler. Now, this is an absolutely fantastic book. There's not too much in here about dealing with the school system. It's really about bringing up happy, settled and healthy dyslexic children. There's some advice in there about how to talk to teachers in the school and about how to help a little bit with homework, but mostly it's about things like how to understand your child, dealing with the forgetfulness, messy bedrooms, the different developmental stages that they go through. And it's relevant right up until the teenage years. Christine Ostler herself is someone who's taught dyslexic people, she's dyslexic and had dyslexic children, so she really knows what she's talking about. If I could, I would give every parent of dyslexic children a copy. If you do have teenage dyslexic children, then I can highly recommend Dyslexia, A Teenager's Guide by Dr. Sylvia Moody. This is written for teenagers to read, but it's also really helpful for parents of dyslexic teenagers. It's written so it's dyslexia friendly. So we've got a nice off-white pages, nice spacing, easy to read font. It covers everything from thinking that you might be dyslexic or that you might have dyspraxic difficulties to going for the dyslexia assessment, what that's going to be like, tips for dealing with schoolwork and staying organised, and just getting through your life as a dyslexic person, knowing that you aren't alone. There are case studies in there about real young people with dyslexia and dyspraxia to make you and them feel less alone. So maybe you're trying to work out, is your child dyslexic, dyspraxic, dyscalculic? Do they have ADHD? What's going on with your child? Then you need a different type of book. This one is also titled Dyslexia, and it's A Parent's Guide, Dyslexia, Dyspraxia and Other Learning Difficulties by Dr. Valerie Mutter and Helen Lickerman. This is different in that it's not so much about helping with the difficulties, it's really identifying, does your child have these difficulties, and if they do, what does that mean? There's some nice checklists and things in there to show, how behind they might be or whether they're developing normally, which is really useful when you're first looking into these things, and some advice on how to proceed to the next stage of testing and assessment. And lastly, one of my favourite books, and one that dyslexic adults absolutely love, and it's The Dyslexia Advantage, Unlocking the Hidden Potential of the Dyslexic Brain, and that's by Brock Ides and Dr. Fernette Ides. And it kind of speaks for itself. It's all about the potential good parts of being dyslexic, the potential benefits. And it's split into different sections. Each section takes a famous dyslexic person, and you get to see them as a child first, and then all the difficulties they have, but also their talents. And then later you find out who they grew up to be and how those talents help them. And there's a discussion of the science that actually goes behind this. I think it's a really good book. It's really easy to read, and it gives you a bit of hope. Nor does it really give a lot of certainties. Not every dyslexic person is going to have these abilities or have them particularly strong, which I liked. I think it's very balanced. So we've got some more detailed reviews about other books that you might find helpful on dysbooks.com. If you need help or advice or want other recommendations, you can also find me on the beingdyslexic.co.uk forums and also on social media. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.